welcome to Take Two, the podcast with the Rock 95 Morning Crew. It's myself, Brian, and MJ. And we like to take texts, questions, answer whatever we can get at with our morning show on Rock 95.
It's not always the right answer, that's for sure.
No, but I thought this one was something that we could do that we can take a deep dive into. What was the question?
And really dissect people's answers here.
Yeah.
The question was, what's the best personal anything in life? And they gave an example saying, like a personal chef.
Oh, okay. Which I will never have.
Immediately, that example sounds like one of the best kind of personal assistant, personal things that you would want.
Right.
I would say a chef is right up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, because I've never had it, and I never would get it because I just don't have that money. Mm-hmm. My initial reaction is to think it would be uncomfortable to have somebody working for me in that capacity.
Yeah?
It really would.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just not, I feel like when you see it in the movies, there's a snobbery to it.
Oh, for
just
sure.
A little bit.
You
like,
know what I mean?
Make sure you use the organic almond milk.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I know there's a lot of people that get like a maid service, so they do that. And so there is that. You could do that. And I would love to actually get a maid service.
The maid can come and go when you're not there.
Yeah.
So then you don't even have the interaction, but you just come back and your house is clean? Okay.
Yeah. But and the benefit of that, too, is don't they, I mean, I've never had one, but don't they get into the real nooks and crannies of your house that you can't get at?
That costs extra. But
Oh,
yeah.
does it?
Does it really?
I've had
Nooks and cranny, please. I need the special.
I need the deep clean. No, but they are actually phenomenal. There's a couple times in my old place when I had my daughter, 2 people gifted me house cleaning services.
Oh, wow.
And they were great. And I thought there was just this permanent, I tried so hard to get this ring out of my bathtub, and it just was not going anywhere in this one spot. And they did it. And they left before I could ask what they did. So they are phenomenal.
Okay.
At the same time, when you do get a cleaning service, and I love them so much, but I feel like I have to tidy up for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
When I was a
Really?
kid, yeah,
I'm
that
not
was
gonna-
definitely
yeah,
part of it. And you were
yeah.
told, I was told by my parents,
Yeah.
clean your room up, the cleaning ladies. That's a real thing.
And my mom was a cleaning lady for years and years. And some of her big clients, they kind of did a quick tidy up before she arrived.
Yeah, you know what? Cleaning
Yeah.
lady's not coming over and I would say, right, responsible for any dishes in the kitchen.
No.
And so you got to have that all
Or your
spick and span.
clothes or anything
yeah,
like
she's
that,
not folding
no.
clothes, doing laundry. So you got to clean all of that stuff up.
I guess it's similar to my wife. When we go to a hotel, she makes the bed. And when I say, why are you making the bed? Well, we can't have the maid come in here.
You know what? That's
different.
wrong.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. I don't like that one.
You gotta muck up the bed nice and good.
She likes
Yeah.
to make sure that they come in and not think that we're slobs.
But that almost gives the impression, I would say, don't change the sheets if I make the bed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well.
and I like some clean sheets on there.
Come on,
I'm not saying I disagree with you.
You like dirty sheets, is that right?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
What am I going to do? I can't go if I unmake the bed, she'll make it again.
Okay, very
Yeah, true.
nice, the personal cleaner, maid service, but not the best.
Yeah.
If you were to pick any personal, assistant, that's not the best. Chef out there, that could be up there. What about somebody driving you around? A chauffeur, that I believe is number one.
That's nice.
I don't love driving.
We don't love driving.
waiting
We
for
have the
you.
same opinion of driving. It sucks.
I can't. It would be amazing for someone to drive me.
You know?
Like waits for me everywhere.
I'd go
Yep.
to Toronto more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go to the city more and do some things. The one thing that stops me from doing it is Toronto traffic.
Would you
Of course,
feel-
he's not going to stop Toronto
That's
traffic.
true, yeah.
He's going to be stuck in it too. But at least I'm not behind the wheel.
And he's a professional. And I do assume when we say the word chauffeur and you're getting a personal anything, that it's a limo.
Yeah.
How about if you have like a day that you're doing errands and then your personal driver or chauffeur, are you going to feel bad that like you feel like you have to hurry up?
No.
Wherever you are?
This is an
No?
employee.
Okay. That's right. That's right. It's an employee.
I don't know. I
Right?
think I would
Wait.
have to hurry up.
I feel like I have to hurry up.
Yeah.
I think it's...
I always feel bad for the limo driver. If I'm at a concert, he's just sitting outside. I know he
He's
gets
paid.
paid. I know they're
getting
paid,
paid.
but
He's
they're
on his
human. He's got to be.
phone.
He's on his phone.
He's trash talking you with the other limo drivers. Don't worry.
You think
about
he's
it.
doing that?
They do all hang out out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
Who you got tonight?
Now,
Let's go.
okay, say an errand every week that you're doing it would be going to the grocery store. So shopping, a personal shopper, that's another option.
Yeah, I think I can do that
I
on
like
my
to keep
own.
the tires on my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't trust anybody to bring back the proper produce.
This person would be I want to stress this, professional. They would be a professional
They're not going to give you wilted
Yes.
lettuce. Welcome back to Take Two, Morning Crew podcast. And the question was posed about personal assistants.
Personal anything in
Personal
life.
anything. What's the best one to have? We went through chauffeur.
That's the best.
Maid. You hands down. You got no
Yeah.
other. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What about a personal masseuse?
No, I don't even love a massage.
No, I don't either. But I know MJ does.
I do like, I
And
do
you can get
like
one
a
anytime you
massage.
want. You got
Yeah.
one down there waiting for you. Anytime
That's
you go
right.
down, you get a
Yeah,
massage.
It's like, hey, you got 15 minutes, MJ? Sure,
I don't-
do, Sven. Let's get at it.
I don't even love that one. It almost sounds more like you have a prisoner.
Yes.
Like they're just not busy
You're not
enough
allowed to
to have.
leave.
Once a day, Sven, as she calls him,
Gets to rub you down.
gets to rub your feet.
I still think the chef to me is top because the mental load of thinking of what I'm going to make for dinner, shopping for dinner every night.
Yeah.
What am I going to have? The kids are, what are we having for dinner? I think all of that would outweigh any awkwardness.
Is
of
that
having
the
someone
most
in my
work,
kitchen.
right? Like that's a daily thing, and it would be 3 meals a day and snacks.
Yeah, even one
You
meal
know.
a day, even just for dinner, right? You know what I mean? Just like
But you're a
pop
good
over for
cook.
dinner. I'm fine, but like I don't mind cooking. I don't love cooking.
Really?
You love cooking, and
I do love cooking. I don't love cooking every day.
Yeah, that,
Right, and
there
keep
we
in
go,
mind
the
you could.
every day.
Hey,
Yeah.
these people get
Yeah.
days off.
Yeah. You know,
what I mean?
I'll ask
You
him
never-
to make
it's not
me
like
a
you're never gonna
lasagna on
cook.
Friday so I can heat that up on Saturday.
I don't
and
need that
Sunday.
pressure of when I serve my meal, the family looks at me and goes, day off, isn't it?
That is very true. Okay, I got another one here for
Sure.
you. Think about outside. Think about chores you're doing there. Landscaping,
Gardener, huh?
gardener.
We're thinking about my current property. It's not nearly elaborate enough that I would need a garden.
I think my wife would go for the gardener.
Would she?
Yeah.
Out of everything?
I think so. She does not. She doesn't mind doing it, but she's not particularly good at it. You know what I mean? Like she would love somebody to really kind of kickstart the lawn and the garden and everything like that, and give it a
Right.
good. Yeah, she may be able to handle the maintenance after it, but
But the first initial.
she wants somebody to kind of get it going.
I could get behind that. Yeah, my
Yeah.
garden beds are like every year. I'm like best intentions, and then it's like a month and a half later. Oh, it's a weed. It's a dandelion. Yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah. If you have a personal gardener too, that feels a little more pompous than some of the other ones, I think.
It does, but I mean,
because everybody can see it, right?
that's
Yeah.
true.
And if they got the shears,
Okay, well, here's one that we haven't brought up, and it's a bit of a jack of all trades.
yeah,
Personal bodyguard.
a bodyguard.
That's a personal
Oh
thing.
my god.
And they kind of do everything, right? Like they could be your driver, not necessarily cooking for you, but they could do an errand. They kind of fall.
Would you
under
be a little
few-
more mouthy with a bodyguard?
Like
yeah, I
anybody.
think you would.
Yeah, like I
Like
would. you know.
mouthy to the general
No,
public?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know how many times you're at a
Return
grocery
your
store?
cart.
It's many times you're at a grocery store and you're like, oh, boy, if I had my way, I'd just tell that person off. No, you can't.
And then you can.
That's
because
free
you got
reign.
Bubba there looking after you, and everything will be fine.
And then, of course, there's the butler, which is another jack of all trades. He's the one that does everything, right?
Butler, Jeeves.
Butler.
What does a butler do?
Answers the
Answers
door.
the door.
For sure. Answers the door.
In a time where no one rings
You know
the
when you
doorbell
have
anymore.
guests, they,
Yeah.
of course, escorts them to the room.
They introduce them.
And he
Brian here.
He
Master.
he takes their coats,
Yeah.
and some even cook.
Yeah.
Do they cook?
They cook.
I know they serve.
Some cook.
They
So
do.
they will
The
like
one
be
in-
your
the
waiter.
One, the one
or
in
wait-
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air cooked.
Oh, that's right. They did have a
I know.
butler.
I'm trying to
Butler.
think of butlers, and also Alfred from Batman. Was he a butler?
He was, but I mean, he had way bigger duties beyond
Jack
cleaning.
of all trades.
I think
Oh,
Let's
I-
not write that
Yeah.
off.
He didn't just clean.
The greatest butler of all time, Alfred.